how shall I come before the Lord? What am I going to come with to please him? Do everybody understand that? It was already known what would please God, what would be the offering that would please God. He gives you the instructions on how he wants his sacrifice. Right? Am I right? And if you give him a sacrifice not according to the way he asked for it, he's not going to accept it. He's asking for your body as a sacrifice. So what he said is, I want your body alive. I want the sacrifice to be kept alive, and I want it to be kept holy. So now you have to understand that if you're not going to be holy, you're not going to be accepted by God. But you sacrifice. The scripture says they that worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. You shall bring your offering is the start of God giving the order on how he wants things done and how he wants you to serve him. What is pleasing to God? What did God make known that he wants as an offering to him? You can't just give God what you want to give God. You got to give God what the Lord is telling you to give him. You got to follow his commandments. Do everybody understand that? To Leviticus chapter 1 verse 1. Back all the way up to the first verse. And read Leviticus chapter 1 verse 1.
And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Okay, the tabernacle, remember that's where the Spirit of the Lord was dwelling at. It was the movable church. Do everybody understand that? The Spirit of God was not dwelling among the nation of Israel at this time because of their sins. So in order for them to be in the presence of God, they had to go to the tabernacle. Do everybody understand that? So the tabernacle is like a tent church. Everybody got that, right? What you would call a tent church. Read verse 1 one more time.
And the Lord called unto Moses and spake unto him out of the tabernacle.
Okay, because that's where his spirit was dwelling. The spirit was dwelling in the tabernacle. Read on.
Of the congregation.
Of the congregation. Read on.
Saying.
Read on.
Speak unto the children of Israel.
Come on.
And say unto them.
Read on.
If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord.
So this is talking about how to deal with the Lord concerning offerings. Do everybody understand that? What the Lord was doing, he was giving the order of how to appear before him, which is very important. Of how to appear before him when you bring in your offering. Do everybody understand that? Read it again.
Verse 2.
Come on.
Speaking to the children of Israel.
Read on.
And saying to them.
Read on.
If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord.
If you bring an offering offering unto the Lord. Read on.
You shall bring your offering.
Read on.
Of the cattle.
So he letting you know at that time what was supposed to be offered. Okay. What would please him as an offering and what would not please him as an offering. Do everybody understand that? Read on.
Even of the herd and of the flock.
So what would please him as an offering? And what else? Okay, let me hear y'all in unison. What would please him as an offering? And what else? Get the book of Micah chapter 6. Micah chapter 6. It's important to know what to offer to God. Everybody understand that? Everybody got that? Micah chapter 6, verse 6. We're going to start there. If they come in the Baptist church and want to offer a pork sandwich to the Lord, is he going to accept that? Huh? What about some ham hocks? I brought this to the church. I want to offer this to God, right? So you got to know what to offer to God or what is accepted by God as an offering. That's what this Leviticus chapter 1 is going to. Read Micah chapter 6, verse 6, please.
Wherewith shall I come before the Lord?
Yeah, in other words, he's saying, how? How shall I come before the Lord? What am I going to come with to please him? Do everybody understand that? Now people be bringing plates to church and all that. I brought a plate to the Lord. Full of damn pork ribs, right? Read it one more time.
Wherewith shall I come before the Lord?
Read on.
And bow myself before the high God.
Yeah, how am I going to come before the Lord and offer up an offering to the high God? Read on.
Shall I come before him with burnt offerings?
Read on.
With calves of a year old?
Yeah, should I come before him with burnt offerings and the calves of a year old, which is a question mark? That's a question. Read on.
Would the Lord be pleased?
Read it again.
Would the Lord be pleased?
Read it one more time.
Would the Lord be pleased?
Read on.
With thousands of rams?
Yeah, is that going to make God happy? Read on.
Or with 10,000s of rivers of oil?
Read on.
Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression?
Yeah, should I offer up my firstborn child for my sins? So this is why it's important, again, for there to be a chapter in the Bible where the Lord make known what is the offerings and how to come before him and how to offer these things up. Do everybody understand that? Okay, because people will start going off. They'll start offering their sons. They'll start offering pork sandwiches. They'll start offering like cane. They'll start offering fruit rather than what God required. Do everybody understand? You just can't offer God what you want. You got to offer God what he wants. What did the Bible say? Will thou be pleased with thousands of rams? Let's go from there. Give me the book of, hold that and give me the book of Baruch. The book of Baruch in the Apocrypha. Chapter 4. When you come to the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ, the goal is you're supposed to come to learn about God. What's pleasing to God, how to please God, so you can be saved by God. Do everybody understand that? What's not pleasing to God, what makes God angry. Do everybody understand that? Let's go to the book of Baruch in the Apocrypha, chapter 4. And we're going to start at the 4th verse. Baruch chapter 4, verse 4. Read it.
Oh, Israel.
Read it again.
Oh, Israel.
Who was the Lord talking to?
Israel.
Read on.
Happy are we.
Read it again.
Happy are we.
Read on.
For things that are pleasing to God.
For things that are what?
Pleasing to God.
Read on.
Are made known unto us.
This is what all these chapters are for. All the significance of it. Do everybody understand that? Everybody got that? Let's go back to the book of Micah chapter 6. Be happy because we know what pleases God. And in pleasing God, God is going to make what? You happy. Everybody understand that? Everybody got that? Okay, you got to please God. That means you got to follow his commandments. You got to follow his way. Leviticus chapter 1 says what? Speak unto the children of Israel and let them know that this is the offering. When you bring an offering unto the Lord, this is how you do it. Everybody got that? Micah chapter 6 verse 6. Let's read it again from the top.
Wherewith shall I come before the Lord?
Yeah, how am I going to come before the Lord to please God? Read on.
And bow myself before the high God.
What am I going to offer the Lord? Read on.
Shall I come before him with burnt offerings?
Read on.
With calves of a year old?
Read on.
Would the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams?
Read on.
Or with 10,000s of rivers of oil?
I'm talking about olive oil. Read on.
Shall I give my firstborn
Read on.
for my transgression?
Read on.
The fruit of my body?
Read on.
For the sin of my soul?
Let's go from there and let's get an example of how you come before the Lord. What happens when you come before the Lord with the right offering and the wrong offering? Let's get the story of Cain and Cable and Cable. Thinking about Time Warner, right? Abel and Cain. Get Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. Genesis chapter 4. And we're going to start at the first verse with Cain and Abel bringing offerings to God, which they already had the law like Israel is getting at this time from Moses. Cain and Abel got it from Adam. So it was already known what would please God, what would be the offering that would please God. What we're going to find out when we read this story is one of them, the righteous one of them, brought the offering that was going to please God, and the wicked one of them brought an offering that wasn't pleasing to God.